Yes, boys and girls, it's Shane back with another video. Today I'm going to do an Instagram Q&A on also my IG for some questions, and also some of my mates asked me some questions on WhatsApp as well. So I formulated them, and then it's just a bunch of travel stuff, life, sports stuff, as I said, traveling, and a couple of juicy questions and one deep question. But yeah, we're gonna get it nonetheless. Essential, everyday, bro. Cappuccino. Surprised I spelled my name right. Starbucks. Oof, that's nice. Everyday, bro. Cappuccino. Get involved. Highly recommend. I'm gonna start off just to talk a bit about myself. I'm Shane, 22. Play a bit of rugby. In general, I just love sports. Played, as I said, rugby and cricket, school level. But as I said, just love sports. Lately, love watching tennis, with boxing, hockey. Just a general sports lover. And I study a bit of sports science as well, and I enjoy coaching as well in my free time. So yeah, let's start off with the questions. First one was Mercury Hotel and thoughts on Manchester. Okay, Manchester, great city. Spent my time in Manchester for, I think, last year New Year's with a good friend of mine. But Mercure Hotel, it's a 4-star hotel. It's in the City Tower in Manchester. Yeah, it's in close proximity of where majority of the stuff happens in Manchester. So yeah, highly recommend that hotel. Yeah, it's a hotel with some decent views of Manchester. In general, Manchester is a great city. I think outside London is probably the second hub, in my opinion, out in England. Obviously, you got the traffic centre, there's a big shopping centre, loads of nice stores there. Obviously, two great football teams. Went on a stadium tour there, saw Old Trafford and the Etihad. Pretty nostalgic, Etihad Stadium. Old Trafford Stadium, rather. Cool stadium. Etihad Stadium, Man City Stadium felt very, very new, but Manchester United Stadium, as I said, classic, very nostalgic. So, and also there's some good rooftop bars, good nightlife in Manchester. I think you have Wales there, northern quarters. So Manchester as a city, there's loads of stuff to do, good variety. Second question, where do you find motivation to keep going? Motivation is a tricky one because it comes and it goes. I feel like you need to find your why, or why you're doing certain stuff, but also discipline. I feel like discipline is kind of better than having motivation, because motivation comes and goes. Everyone can get work done, whether it's studying, gym, or life stuff done when you're motivated, but what happens when you're not motivated? Then that discipline or that why can take you forward, and it can be an ego thing. You just want to achieve something in life, or you just want to get stuff done. I feel that pride when you get stuff done. So I won't necessarily rely on motivation. It's more discipline and getting stuff done. But for me, sometimes motivation, you can find it from the journey you've been on, or just family, or any sometimes external factor. Yeah, hope I answered that question. Next question, when you're traveling next and where? I've got nothing planned as of yet, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I can head to UK or Europe at some point, whether it's later in the year or next year. But got nothing set in stone yet, nothing concrete. Next question is life in the UK compared to SA. For those who don't know, I spent a couple of months in the UK and England. First of all, let's compare England and the UK to South Africa. The UK as a whole, I think it's obviously the UK and England is a developed country. Where South Africa is still developing. I was pretty amazed how good the transportation system works in the UK comparing to South Africa, with its train, the bus, compared to South Africa. Obviously, currency is a massive jump because we the rand to the pounds. That's a big thing. Also, I would say winters are pretty cold in the UK. Don't recommend going to the UK in the winter period. It's not fun when you're freezing in minus 2 degrees, and your mates are having the best time of their life in summer in December in South Africa. But life was good in the UK. But sometimes home is home. Nothing compares to South Africa, and obviously just speaking Afrikaans with your mates and your friends, and just enjoying braai, simple things like that. So yeah, hopefully I answered that question. Next one is, again, what was the UK like and do you miss us? This is from a good friend. UK was great, loved it. Banter, definitely in England, the banter and the humour is something I miss. In the beginning, the humour was a bit dark. I thought, did I make a mistake here? But other than that, people are good. They're good laugh. They're just up for having a drink. I thought we as South Africans love a drink and love our sport, but they obviously love in England especially, they love their food, they love their pop culture, they love a drink and watching football. So there's some similarities, and yeah, of course I miss the people I've seen there. I've missed, obviously made some good friends, still communicate with them. Yeah, hopefully I can be back at some point, and I definitely miss the whole British culture and seeing the different cities in the UK. Next question. Oof, this is a bit. This question is, what is my body count? Well, that's a very forward question and private. I think it's funny part is I know this is a mate that asked this question, so I kind of gotta start realizing the type of friends I have. Gotta have a serious look at my life. But yeah, I won't be answering that question. On to the next. How do you balance your training life and work union life while having fun as well? I feel like it's all about communication and planning ahead, making notes, writing stuff down. Whereas previously I've juggled studying, playing a bit of rugby, and three to four jobs as well. Don't recommend that. You can get burned out at times, but just planning stuff into what's the main priority, and then work it down, and try and start the day early mornings, and sometimes you're going to finish late at night. But if you want to balance your training life, that uni stuff, and also having fun with it, which is partying, you got to plan ahead and work something out. Do you enjoy traveling? If yes, do you have any suggestions in Europe for traveling? Yes, I love traveling. I think it's probably one of the best things you can do as someone that's early in your 20s. Put things into perspective. You learn different cultures, to meet different people, different nationalities. That's one thing I like about traveling. I know it's not always possible for everyone, but highly recommend traveling, even if it's solo traveling or traveling with mates. Yeah. Traveling is something really great to do. Any suggestions in Europe for traveling? Can only give opinion on places I've been. So probably go visit Paris, somewhere in France, whether it's on the south of France. Visit Barcelona in Spain, Madrid. Try and visit the island in Spain. But then again, I had a mate that was in Eastern Europe, like Budapest, Prague. He has good things to say about Eastern Europe as well. So it just depends on what's your preference, but my suggestions is try and go somewhere in Spain and Portugal in the summer. That's unmatched. It's great weather, nice islands, beautiful islands, and try and immerse yourself in the culture. When I was in France, try and speak the language, even subtle conversations at the coffee shops, at the airports. Try and always speak the language. Whether you're in Italy, try and learn basic Italian. Whether you're in France, try and learn basic French. Spain, try and learn basic Spanish. So yeah. Next questions. Do you prefer house parties or clubbing? I'll probably say 16, 17-year-old Shane would probably have said house parties, but as you get a bit older, house parties ain't fun once you in some random house with a random bunch of people in the early morning hours. Yeah, clubbing is great. I try and go to some house events, Afro house or deep house. I'm a big house lover. Yeah, clubbing is great when you're a bit younger, but as you get a bit older, you kind of realize I don't like clubbing that much. I like a good festival and beach clubs. I think beach clubs are nice. Yeah. Next question: do you believe partying is an important part of one's lifestyle? I feel like partying and having fun is important, but it needs to be balanced. Like, don't get me wrong, I love having fun and partying, but at times you gotta put the work in first in order to have fun and partying and kind of see the partying and fun as a reward to your hard work. But you gotta be careful. One must never let the partying and having fun stop you from doing or coming away from getting stuff done that you need to do. If you're someone that likes partying and having fun, then yeah, I think it's important for one's lifestyle to just sometimes wind down and not take life too seriously. Okay, next question: what is your go-to drink when on the piss? When on a night out? It depends. I like a good beer. I'm a big Castle Light. I like a Castle Light. In the UK, I love the Guinness. Carling is good as well. Thatcher's Gold, really recommend. But the beers are a bit heavy sometimes on my system. But sometimes, if not the beers, I'll probably go for like a vodka Sprite, vodka Red Bull. Yeah, that's a nice drink. And also, can't beat in summer a good glass of white wine or a glass of rosé. That's quality stuff. Highly recommend. Next question. Oof, this is a deep one. What do you appreciate most in your life? I feel like for me, it's just at the end of the day, after a long day, having a roof over your head. Firstly, a warm meal, warm showers, simple things that people take for granted, but not everyone always have. And also having just around the dinner table at night, having conversations with your grandparents or your parents. As you go through life, they get older and it puts things into perspective what's important. So for me, it's just having conversations with my grandparents. I only have one left. So yeah, that's important. That's something I appreciate the most in my life, and also just having a good laugh with friends, whether it's having a coffee or good drink with them, just having a laugh with friends and family. Do you prefer weight training or cardio type training? This is a tricky one. Back in the day, I would probably say weights. It was all about weight training when you're trying to get bigger. But lately, been loving cardio, like just running on treadmill, running outdoors, putting a watt bike session in. If I was to choose, I'd probably say prefer weight training still, get a pump. Yeah, I think there's obviously good benefits of weight training as well. Next question: do you think you'll return to Europe? Hopefully at some point, whether it's for business, pleasure, traveling. Yeah, it all depends if I have some mates there or connections there. Then if there's opportunity, yeah, why not? I would go. We'll see. Only time will tell. I feel like when you plan these trips, the unplanned things are always the best. Like when someone tells you, look, they're looking on traveling to the city in Europe, you want to come, stuff like that. That's always the best trips, in my opinion. What does your weekly training schedule look like? It's normally push-pull legs, the rest, and I'll repeat that cycle. Or sometimes I do upper, lower, full body, rest, and then repeat that cycle. I'm loving training multiple body parts at once. So yeah, that's my training schedule. What does your diet schedule look like when you're training hard? I don't like that word diet. People nowadays have this negative connotation towards diet. I feel like it's all about fueling yourself, eating good food. I'm a big foodie. I enjoy eating tasty and nutritious food. So yeah, normally it's in all my meals is I'll try and breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then in between I have 2 snacks. So between breakfast and lunch I have a snack, and then between lunch and dinner I have a snack as well. But it's mainly high protein, high carb, and good fats. At times you mess it up, but yeah, that's my diet schedule, if you want to call it. Is there a special goal in your life? Wow, that's the next question. Only special goals in my life at this moment is, that's it, my granny, my mom, and my sibling. Nothing, no romantic, nothing from a romantic point of view. Yeah, on to the next. Best location for a boys trip. This is a tricky one. I feel like in South Africa, first of all, with boys trips, it doesn't matter where you go, it's all about being surrounded with your mates and having a laugh and having fun and making memories. But in SA, I would say Hermanus is nice. It's convenient, couple of hours drive from Stellenbosch, Cape Town. Hermanus is nice in December. Stillby can be good as well, but that's heavy drinking. There's a big branding Coke scene there. People love their branding Coke in Stillby. Mosselbaai is nice as well. The whole garden route really. Knysna is chilled, but there's some good spots in Knysna. But I feel like Plet and St. Francis in December is unmatched. Highly recommend that for a boys trip at some point when you're early 20s. Doesn't matter what age you are. I feel like that's Plet and St. Francis. That's next level. Abroad, I would say you can look Bali, Thailand. I think that's a bit more that's more cost efficient and effective comparing to Europe. But again, in Europe you can go some of the Spanish islands, Ibiza, Mallorca, Marbella. You can go Barca, even Amsterdam, Algarve coast in Portugal. That's also good spots. But then you get spots in Greece as well, Mykonos, Zante, Corfu, Cyprus, Ioannina. There's loads of stuff. I feel like Europe for boys trip, it's a playground if you have a bit of money and you have connections. So even Australia, Gold Coast, there's loads of options. It's just your preference and what you're willing to spend for a boys trip. Tips to stay in shape on a boys trip and balance party with lifestyle. Okay. My tip to stay in shape is from what I've heard and seen and I've experienced. I'll probably say when you know you're going on a boys trip and going to go drinking, try and fast and get gym sessions done, whether it's cardio or weights, and try and eat high protein meals at lunch and at night time before you go out and drinking. But also you gotta have mates that kind of take care of their health as well, that if you tell them, look, let's go for a run in the morning, they're willing to do that. And then after your night out, after your big session, fuel, just hydrate with water and electrolytes. That's something I would say. Again, balance party with lifestyle. All depends on what you like. Don't get caught up too much into the parties side of things. If you have work or other hobbies or priorities, try and balance it. Next question, tips on managing work study load with training. This is a tricky one. I've always tried to plan ahead, but sometimes you get things wrong. It's life. Focus on the main thing, which is studying and then work. Studying, you want to get your degree, so always make that a priority, and then try and work the training into it. So what I would normally sometimes do when I had class in the middle of the day, I would train in the morning, and then you do your homework or your assignment work late at night, or you work at night. It all depends on your job hours and what type of work you do. But focus on the main thing, which is that study and that work stuff, because you essentially as a student, you want to get your degree, you want to finish your qualification. So make that a priority. Tips to stay in shape throughout the whole year. I would say get a high protein diet with loads of good fats and manage your carbs. And also try and don't go in the phase where you cut where you go through bulking and then cutting. Just try and maintain a decent body fat percentage, and your body composition is important. Try and reconstruct your body composition. I feel like that's important. As I said, don't go from cutting and bulking, let's say bulking in winter and then cutting in summer. Don't do that. Try and stay in relative shape all year round, whether it's just having a good routine, couple of gym sessions in the week, couple of runs, decent diet. So yeah. Next question, your go-to post-workout meal. Oof, this is nice. I'll probably say a chicken trombazini is always nice post-workout. I like it. Especially at Where Gym, they make a good chicken trombazini. Also, you can't beat just eggs and steak with a bit of avo on toast, stuff like that. Pretty simple. Next question, your go-to pre-workout meal. I'll probably say I don't like a big meal before my workout. Normally I have a snack. So this is something I recommend, highly recommend. Some dates, cut it in half and put a bit of peanut butter in there. That's a quality snack. And also toast, peanut butter, banana, butter honey. That's also quality. That's something you gotta try. Next question, your favorite workout for a pump session before a big night out. Oh, pump session is essential before a night out. Listen boys, if it makes you feel confident, get on a night out, get that session in. I feel like when I was younger, one of my cousins told me this blueprint or this trick. When you're gonna wear an oversized shirt, something bigger, looser fit, always train back and shoulders. And then when you're gonna wear a tighter fit t-shirt, train chest and arms. That's something I've tried back in the day. Looking back on it, I don't know what I was thinking, but you live and you learn. Okay. And then the last question, what's your go-to cardio session to burn some extra calories to stay in shape? I'll probably say running on a treadmill, running outdoors, get a couple of sessions in whether it's that maintaining different tempos, fast leg, because essentially with that fast leg, dropping the tempo down, increasing it, you dropping your heart rate down and then spiking it up again when you're increasing your running speed. I'll probably say that. Watt bike sessions are good. Again, intervals on the watt bike session, that's good to burn calories as well. The row is good as well, the skier. I'd probably say try and juggle between those different cardio equipments and do like short intervals where it's like 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, stuff like that, just to keep the heart rate going. And yeah, that's all the questions. Hopefully you guys find this Q&A interesting. We'd really like if you subscribe and like and comment in the comment section. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.